This yoga class is an invitation to come home to your internal support system. Through breath and intentional movement, we'll explore how stability can arise from within our core, not through gripping or bracing, but through presence. In yogic philosophy, this quality is called ashrata, a quiet inner trust that grows through practice. And so we will experience that in this practice. You will need a block and a yoga strap. If you are ever uncomfortable on your knees, just know that you can use a blanket or rolling your mat over to support your knees and give it some extra padding. We will start this practice in a seated position up on a block. So come to sit on your block. You can cross your legs in front in any comfortable position. And just taking a moment just to kind of rock front and back to find those two bony points that stick out at the bottom of your pelvis. And see if you can center your weight on that region. And when you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes. And just take a moment to settle. Noticing as you sit, your body, and feeling the parts of your body that connect to the ground. Feel that sense of groundedness or a heaviness that has you supported and stable on your prop. And notice where else your mind is drawn to in your body. And just take a moment to acknowledge what it is that draws your mind to those different regions. And now bring your awareness to your breath. As you inhale, feel the breath come in through your nostrils. Follow it deep into the low part of your lungs, feeling length and openness as you inhale, and that sense of feeling grounded and easeful as you exhale. Can you become aware of breathing all the way around your spine? And begin to tune into where you find the center, your own center. And just check in with that inner quality and setting an intention for trust, that inner trust. And you can either keep your eyes open or keep your eyes closed or open them, and bring your hands to rest on your knees. And we'll start to combine breath with movement, introducing flexion and extension in the spine or cat-cow. So as you inhale, lift the top of your chest towards the sky. Allow your pelvis to rock forward. And as you exhale, move the opposite way. So round your spine, feel your pelvis tuck under and your shoulders round forward. And then continue this exploration, moving with your own breath. So finding length on the front body as you inhale, finding length on the back body as you exhale. And as you continue this exploration of movement, notice what you feel at your sit bones that are sitting on your block. Can you feel how they rock backwards as you find that length on your front body? So the pelvis, front of the pelvis rocks forward, sit bones rock backwards. And as you exhale, feel the sit bones rock forward as the top of your pelvis rocks backwards. And just one more, kind of moving through this big movement. And then the next time you exhale, can you keep your upper part of your trunk, so from the rib cage up, still, as you continue this exploration of movement just in your pelvis. So pelvic tilts, feeling as you inhale the hip points at the front of your pelvis rock forward towards the front of, or inner thighs, and feel them rock backwards as you exhale. And start to recognize this relationship of what happens to the front of your body as you rock the pelvis forward. So hip points go forward, feel that opening, that lack of tension. And as you rock backwards, feel that shortening. So our exploration today is going to be what comes in between these two movements. So start to minimize how much you rock, keeping your awareness on your sit bones. Can you find the center point of your hip points where they sit on the block? And then bring your hands right across the edge of the top of your pelvis. And imagine that like a bowl sitting open, and the rim all the way around is even. If you tilt forward, you'll feel the water spill out of the bowl. You also notice your rib cage flares open. If you tilt it back, the water would fall out and you find that rounded position. So find those 2 points stacked on top of each other, and I'll refer to this as the stack, where your hip points and ribs are pretty much in alignment on the front. You feel your sit bones deeply grounded. And then close your eyes just for a moment before we get started and feel the natural curves of your spine, and feel the length of your spine from the tip of your tailbone all the way out through the crown of the head. So we're taking this feeling, this sensation of stacking the ribs on top of the pelvis throughout the entire class. So we'll start in hands and knees. So coming onto hands and knees, you can drop the block and the belt off towards the front edge of your mat so they're there when you need it. Come to hands and knees, and we'll explore this same thing in a different relationship to gravity. So in our quadruped or hands and knees, start to move through cat-cow, not really thinking about too much, just moving how you would organically or naturally move between cow pose, where the front of your body is long, you feel the hips and the ribs moving away from each other in the front, and as you exhale, moving into that cat pose, the rounding, and feel how those 2 points get closer together in the front, so the shortening on the front. Take a couple of more, just matching it with your breath, your natural breath. And then the next time you come into your cat pose, so with the front body long, head and chest lifted, sit bones lifted, notice how the front of your rib cage and your hip points are far apart. Push the floor away. Start by looking down between your thumbs, so gaze between your thumbs. Inhale through your nose. As you exhale, as if you were telling someone the movie to be quiet, shh, say shush, really hard, and start to notice what happens to your lower belly area. Can you feel that tightening across the front? And perhaps you feel the ribs and the pelvis coming closer together. Do that a few more times. Inhale through your nose. As you exhale, shh, allow the ribs and the hips to come towards each other naturally, so not trying to force it. And notice how your belly starts to lift away from the floor. Keep that as you inhale. One more time. Shh. Keep this position and notice how your low back is neither rounded like this or super arched. You found that natural pelvis. Tailbone pointing straight down towards the wall beneath your bottom, and the crown of your head reaching towards the wall in front, gaze is down. Bring your knees a little bit closer together. We're going to move into an exploration of bird dog. So take your left leg back and your right arm forward. You can start with the toes and the fingertips on the floor. Push through your hand and feet. Find that stability. Exhale, shh, and as you do, lift your right arm and your left leg. Stretch long through both limbs. Moving through knees to elbows underneath, let your spine round as you exhale. And as you inhale, stretch them both long. Exhale, round. As you come back into limbs long, can you find neutral instead of just dropping the core? Do 2 more this way. Reach. Exhale, shh. Reach. Bring both hands down to the ground. Take your feet or your knees a little wider and your toes to touch. Inhale, reach the left arm up towards the sky, and as you exhale, twist. Thread the needle, bring your left shoulder and ear to the ground, reach your right fingertips forward, stretch your sit bones back. And then inhale, reach right arm up, and place the back of your hand on the outside of your left hip. Maybe you rotate your wrist a little bit. Good. Inhale, reach the right arm up towards the sky. Place the hand in front of your face. Inhale, reach right arm up, gaze up, left arm up, and then bring both hands back down to the ground. Exhale 1 time in through cat pose. Inhale, release the belly towards the floor, stretch head, chest forward, tailbone back. Inhale, find that shush breath, gaze between the thumbs. Use your shush to find neutral. Moving on to the other side. So left hand reaches forward, right leg reaches back. Press down through your right hand and left foot to keep your trunk stable, stay neutral in your spine. Inhale, and as you exhale, blow, shh, and lift your right leg and left arm. Inhale, stretch, get long through the spine. As you exhale, round underneath, touch knee to elbow. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, shh, pull knee, elbow to touch. Inhale, stretch long. 2 more times, exhale, round, let your spine round. So find that flexion in the front body. As you reach long, find neutral spine. Good. Bring both hands and knee back down to the ground. Inhale, reach the right arm up. As you exhale, twist. Bring your right shoulder and ear to the ground. Stretch your left arm long to your ear. Reach your sit bones back towards your heel. So lengthen your spine. Inhale, left arm reaches up and reach it behind the outside of your right hip. If you want to rotate your wrists. So we're going to come back to the same exploration one more time. This time, instead of rounding our spine as we move our limbs, we're going to try to keep the spine in neutral, using that shush breath to be able to find the tension in the front of the core to help stabilize us in that position. Inhale, reach your left arm up, plant the hand in front of your face, come back to tabletop. Exhale, round through your spine, find that big rainbow curve in your spine. Inhale, stretch the head, chest forward, sit bones up and back, front body towards the floor. Turn your gaze between your thumb. Inhale. As you exhale, shh, let that Close down the front, finding the stack between the ribs and the pelvis. Stretch long through your spine. Reach right arm to ear, left leg long. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, shush. Try not to round your spine. Your knee and elbow won't touch. Inhale, stretch long. Just going to do 3 more on this side. Exhale. Keep your spine long. So gaze continues to look straight down towards the ground. You can use that shh to help keep you stable and neutral. Last time on this side. Stretch long. Bring the right hand and knee back down. And we'll go straight to the other side. So gaze down between your thumbs, push your chest away from the ground, reach left arm by your ear, right leg straight. Square both front of your hip points down towards the floor. Inhale. As you exhale, keep your spine in neutral, so neither round nor arch as you bring knee and elbow towards each other and then away from each other. Exhale to come to center. Inhale to stretch long. 2 more. Stretch long. Exhale. Stretch long. Bring both hand and knee back down. Sit the hips back towards the heels. You can either come into child's pose or you can just sit back in your heels in an upright position. Pause here. Take a moment to breathe. Good. Come back to hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Lift the knees off the floor, then push the floor away with your hands, letting your head drop between your arms as you lift your sit bones up and back into downward facing dog with knees bent. See if you can create just a mild cat-cow in your spine. And use that as an exploration, noticing how the ribs and the pelvis move away as you create a back bend. And they come closer together as your spine rounds. On the next inhale, see if you can find that stack where the rib cage and the pelvis stack above each other. Stretch the sit bones long, push the floor away, all 10 knuckles pressing down into the ground. Good. Drop your knees to the ground. And step your right foot up between your hands or step it forward into half kneeling. Have a block close by. Bring your hands onto those bony points at the front of your hips, pelvis. Use your awareness of your fingertips there to create that same pelvic tilt. So notice as you take the hip points down towards the front of your right thigh, your low back creates that arch, that back bend. And as you tuck, you feel your chest come forward. So do a few more. See if you can move between the two until you're able to find where the rib cage stacks over the pelvis. Good. Start to pull your right heel back without moving it, so just traction it back. And at the same time, push your left knee forward. Feel how that creates more stability in the lower part of your body, helping your pelvis stay in neutral. As you inhale, reach your arms over your head, resisting the urge to flare, but instead keep the ribs stacked. Stretch the right hand down beside your body and side bend, not lifting ribs, but straight to the side. Reach the right fingertips towards the ground. Left hand reaches over your head. Breathe. One breath in. Inhale through your nose. This time with an exhale, find that shh and feel how that creates that slight tightening of your lower body for stabilization. Nice. Bring your hands to heart center. Tuck your left toes under. Inhale. This time we're going to use the shh to come up to a hovering knee. So you might have to tilt forward slightly. And then shh, lift and hold. Inhale, straighten the knee. As you exhale, shh, lower down. Feel the hip points draw towards the ribs as you come down. And then inhale, come up slightly. Not all the way straightening the knee. Exhale, shh, go low. Inhale, up a little bit. Exhale, go low. Feel the corseting in the front. Stable corset holding you together. One more time. Exhale, shh, hold. And then slowly release your left knee to the ground. Inhale, reach your arms over your head. As you exhale, twist, bring the block inside of your right foot and reach your right hand towards your back foot. You can allow the right knee to come forward of your right toe slightly. Release both hands to the floor on either side of your right foot. Crawl the hands forward towards the front edge of your mat, shoulders above the wrists, so finding knee down plank. Push your chest away from the floor. Stretch the crown of the head forward, so now we're not looking straight down, we're looking forward slightly. Inhale. As you exhale, shh. Feel that tension on the front of your core. You're not forcing it. You're just allowing that awareness of stabilization to come into the front. So we're not pulling our belly towards the spine. We're allowing our breath to create that stabilizing force. Good. Reach the hips back towards the heels. Pause in child's pose and breathe. Notice the breath all the way around the circumference of your rib cage. And shift to tabletop. See if you can find neutral. Rather it be using the cat-cow to find that in between, or rather it be using your breath. Good. Tuck your toes under. Hover the knees slightly and then lift the hips up and back as you drop your ears between your arms. Stretch the spine long. And in this position, can you find your stack? Do you notice, do you flare or do you round in this position? Can you find that sense of awareness of center? And drop the knees to the floor. Either step the leg up between your hands or come all the way up to half kneeling. Traction, left heel back, right knee forward. Find the tilt in order to help you find neutral. Find the stack. Inhale, stretch both arms over your head. As you side bend, can you keep the ribs in line with your pelvis instead of flaring into the back bend? And not that a back bend is wrong, but today we're trying to see, can we stay in that neutral position to access different parts of our spine and core? Good. Reach both arms over your head. Bring your hands to heart center. Tuck your right toe under. Shift forward slightly. If it helps to use the shush breath, use it. If you're able to find that tightening, that corset without, you can do that. Come up into that crescent lunge. Inhale. As you exhale, tailbone towards the floor, slightly tucking the pelvis back. Come to a hover, corset for stabilization. Inhale. Exhale. Hover. Inhale. Exhale, shh, if it helps, hover. 2 more, inhale. Shh. On this last one, hold in that hover position. Find your stack. Have you flared? Can you find that corset of your core stabilizers? Then release down. Bring your block inside of your left foot. Inhale, reach the left arm forward. As you exhale, twist. Reach back towards your right foot with your left hand. Allow the tension that you've been maintaining to be subtle, to soften. Let it go. Cartwheel the hands on either side of your left foot. Left knee beside right knee. You can come back to that knee down plank. Or maybe you work towards full plank. Gaze between your hands, push your chest away. Tuck one foot back, then the other. Wherever you are, inhale through your nose. Exhale, shh. Feel that natural tension at the front of your core, stabilizing you in your version of plank. Good. Release both knees to the ground. Sit your hips back towards your heels and take a break. So the goal here is not to always shush. It is just a tool that helps you tune in to that natural corseting along the front of your core that helps you find natural stability, which might not feel so natural right now, without that feeling of having to pull actively or forcefully the navel towards your spine. If you can use your breath to activate your core muscles, you don't have to rely on our typical bracing or gripping. Good. Reach your hands towards the front of your mat. Inhale, shift forward to tabletop. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Find your stack. Inhale, keep your stack, shift forward to plank. And on your next exhale, shift back into downward facing dog. Can you keep your stack as you transition between both of these positions one more time? And as you release back into downward facing dog, bend your knees slightly and walk your hands towards your feet at the back of your mat. Bend your knees deeply, and one vertebrae at a time, roll your spine up. And walk to the front of your mat. So have your strap close by. We will use it. Start with your feet about hip distance apart. We're going to move into chair pose. So inhale, stretch your arms up over your head. As you exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your hips to fold forward. Bring your hands to the fronts of your shins. Press your shins and your knees together as you reach your sit bones back towards the back edge of your mat. Inhale, stretch the arms over the head and purposefully push your ribs forward. And then bring your hands to your knees and purposefully round through your spine. Do that a few times with your hands on your knees. So going between that extension, back bend, and flexion, rounding. Feel how the sit bones and the hip points move opposite each other. And then can you slow it down until you find what you believe is your neutral. So you'll have a slight curve of your low back. Bring your hands to your lower belly. Inhale through your nose. As you exhale, feel that tightening. Hold a sense of that tightening as you bring your arms beside your ears. Start to shift your weight onto your right foot. Come onto your left toes. As if you were going to stand, but don't. So push through the right foot. Release it. Push through the right foot. Feel that engagement. Step your left foot to the back of your mat into a crescent warrior. Inhale, stretch through your fingertips, but keep the stack. So pubic bone tucks forward slightly, ribs stay stacked over your pelvis. As you exhale, shift the torso forward, hinging from your hips. Arms reach straight back. Inhale, arms come over your head. Keep your stack. Exhale, hinge forward. Arms come out to the side or to the back. Find your stack. Maybe bring your arms straight out to the side. T to the body. So we're a little bit more loaded here. Inhale, arms come over your head. Keep the stack. Exhale, hinge from the front hip crease. Hands reach back. Find that corset on the front. Maybe arms become beside your ears. Good. Go ahead and bring your belt with you. Drop your left heel down. Wrap the belt around your neck. Find warrior two. So right knee is over your right heel. Left foot can either be pointing straight forward or maybe in slightly. Hands to your pelvis. Bring it up and down. Either side. And see if you can find where they're almost in the same plane. Arms out to the side, gaze out over your right fingertips. Keep your eyes open or closed, but bring your awareness to your stack, your corset. Breathe in. Do you feel your rib and your pelvis flare forward? Use that shh to help bring them closer together. Open your eyes if they're closed. Straighten your right leg. Take your strap and hold it between your hands over your head. Not shoulder, but slightly wider than shoulder. Pull tension on the strap. Let it go. Pull tension. Feel how that connects to the sides of your core. Inhale. As you exhale, hinge from your right hip crease, going only as far as you can maintain neutral in your spine. Pull the strap apart. Inhale, come back up. Let the tension on the strap go slightly. Exhale one more time. Start to pull as you hinge straight over your right leg, going only as far as you can maintain. Then come up. Release the strap off to the left side of the front of your mat. Turn your toes to face the long edge of your mat, hands in your hip creases. Inhale. As you exhale, shift the hips back. Hinge from your hips. Shh. Only go as far forward as you can hold. So hands are on the hips. Can you exhale and bring arms out to the side, T to the body? Notice what a challenge that is for your core. Maybe you stay here. Maybe next exhale you bring arms beside your ears. Inhale, reach the arms over your head. Heels in, exhale, goddess. Cactus the arms. Slight tilt of the pelvis forward. Keep the hips and ribs stacked. Inhale. As you exhale, shh, maybe you come up onto the balls of your feet. Good. Release your heels to the ground. Inhale, stretch the arms over your head. As you exhale, shift your toes and your hands towards the front edge of your mat. Step back into your plank pose. Either move through Chaturanga Dandasana or go straight back to downward facing dog. Lower the hips to the ground. If you lower down, toes point back. Can you keep the stack? So ribs not flaring all the way forward, but pulling tight, slightly towards the tops of your pelvis. And then if you're in down dog, come to child's pose. If you're in your cobra, come to child's pose. Take a break and breathe. Awesome. So we're going to repeat this on the other side. So when you're ready, tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Find the stack. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Maintain that stack. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Come up onto your toes, deep bend in your knees. Walk your hands all the way towards your feet. One vertebrae at a time. Round up to stand. And then walk to the front of your mat. Feet start about hip distance apart. Inhale, reach your arms over your head. As you exhale, hinge from your hips. Keep your spine long as you fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins. Push them into your shins. Stretch your chest forward without going into that super arch. Stay neutral. And then on your next inhale, sweep your arms over your head. Sit back into chair pose. Find neutral. So you're neither arched nor rounded. Shift the weight into your left foot. Get light on your right foot, coming onto the ball of your foot. As if you were going to stand up, push harder through your left foot. And then let that go. Push harder through your left foot as if you were going to stand up. And then balance to step. Right foot back to the mat into crescent lunge. Inhale, grow long through your spine. Tuck the pelvis slightly to find that stack. As you exhale, hinge forward from your left hip. Reach the hands back behind you. Airplane. Keep the stack. Inhale, sweep the arms over your head. Exhale again, hinge from the front hip crease. Reach the arms straight back, find the stack. And on your next exhale, maybe you shush. Maybe you just find that tension on your own. Arms out to the side, T. Notice how challenging it is to maintain the T. Use that as information. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward, arms reach back. If it was really challenging to take the arms into the T, do that again. Otherwise, exhale, stretch the arms beside the ears. Keep your stack. Inhale, arms sweep up and over your head. Come into warrior two. Left knee bent. Right heel down and in slightly. Hands to your pelvis, shift your torso to face your pelvis. Shift your hips side to side. Find neutral. Make sure you're not flared forward, you've got that stack. Sweep the arms out to the side, goes over your left fingertips. Keep your chest squared towards the front edge of your mat. Good, go ahead and grab your belt. Straighten the left leg. Arms over the head. Hands slightly wider than shoulders. Find that tension that you create in your core by pulling the strap apart. Inhale. As you exhale, keep that tension. Side bend. Chest continues to face the long edge of your mat. Only go as far as you can maintain. So we're challenging our core here. Come up. If that was hard, don't go as far. If it was easy, see if you can take it a little bit further. Pull the strap apart. Inhale, come up. You can release the strap, turn the toes to face the long edge of the mat. Inhale, grow long in your spine. Shift the hips back slightly. Come up to halfway down. Hands to your heart. Find that deep hinge in your hip crease. Pubic bone towards navel slightly, ribs towards hip point slightly, to stay neutral in your low back. Maybe arms come out to the side. Maybe arms come to ear. Good. Inhale, come all the way up, heels in, toes out, goddess. Hands to your hip points. Inhale, slight tilt forward of the pelvis, not rounding on the spine. With an exhale, can you lift up onto your toes and hold? Good. Both heels down, come to stand. Turn your toes and your hands to face the long edge or short edge of your mat. Step back into plank pose. Push the earth away. Find that slight shortening on the front side. And then as you exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Option to move through plank, chaturanga, cobra pose. Option to go ahead and release to your knees and send your hips back towards your heels. Take just a couple of breaths, allowing yourself to find center, that physical sense of center with the breath moving all the way around the circumference of your rib cage. Finding center of your internal support system of self-trust. Faith in your ability to support yourself. And then as you're ready, shift forward to tabletop. Cross your ankles and sit your hips back towards your heels. Stretch the legs, bringing the feet to the floor out in front of you. And then lower your spine to the ground. Bring your hands down beside your hips. We're going to move into one bridge pose. So allowing your spine that full extension. Press down through your feet. Chest towards chin. Lift your hips. Pause for a few breaths. Chin towards throat. Let the back of your neck get long towards the floor. Knees reaching over the fronts of your toes. Good. Slowly release the hips to the ground. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Maybe a little rock side to side. Maybe allowing for that full flexion. Exhaling, lifting head and knees towards each other. Release the feet and the head to the ground. Left leg long. Pull the right knee across your pelvis. Twisting knee towards the left. Keeping the right hand and the right shoulder close to the floor behind you. Take a few breaths in a twist. Maybe you turn your head towards your right knee. Maybe you let it turn towards your right hand. Maybe you just turn it a little bit side to side. Release the right knee. Straighten the right leg. Pull the left knee towards your chest. Left knee to the right. Twist. Keep your head in a comfortable position. We're not trying to force a twist here. Just trying to allow the intentional tension the intentional support of stability that we've used throughout this class to soften. And then as you're ready, release back to center, shift the hips to center, maybe windshield the knees a couple of times side to side, eventually finding your way all the way down onto your back for Shavasana. Finding that sense of feeling supported by the earth beneath you, grounded, heavy, and soften. As we close, take a moment to feel the support that you've cultivated, not just in your physical core, but at the center of your awareness, grounded and quietly resilient. That's the heart of Shraddha, a felt sense of trust in yourself. Let this sense of internal support stay with you as you move throughout the rest of your day. Trusting that responsiveness is always available from within. And this is where I will leave. You can stay here as long as you would like. And thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this practice.